Thank you, Kapil, for sharing the insights. I think this is very, very interesting. So, I am actually going to take a slightly different position from one potentially the survey results, point out. Because I'm an eternal optimist. So when I look at, the findings of the survey, which says 39% see 20% or more reduction, but I'm also seeing an equal number, 39% in the survey, which sees 10% or less disruption in their budgets. So I would say it's probably not adequate to cast the vote. The house is divided, and there's an equal number of people who seem optimistic. Right? And also I see about 31% people in the survey who are talking about the rise of new technologies and how they will become important in their landscape. And so I haven't done a survey, but these are the things that seem to tie to what we are observing in the market. Here are some of the threads that we are seeing emerge. Clearly, everybody is looking at a remote work enablement. As much it is a short-term or infrastructure challenge to accomplish in these tough times, we also see this opening up significant opportunity, not only for companies' perspective, I would say also giving higher competitiveness to the offering India as a country has in many of these areas, as well as opening significant opportunity to a completely new set of workforce, which probably didn't have access. The second thread that we are seeing is, people are wanting to do things or achieve a situation where they can remove or minimize manual handoff, a face-to-face connect. Therefore, obviously, we see the rise of new technologies, and that is coming up in many areas, and that includes the area that I currently work in, automation. I think people are looking at areas which can be done without human intervention remotely. Then we are seeing obviously cost pressures and need to drive back revenue, which seems will bring the focus back on more the basics and essentials of business versus I would say innovation, which in a peacetime, which is different when you're trying to break the next barrier or be ahead of the curve. Right now, I think you have to first ride the curve. So focus comes back on revenue and cost related topics, and clearly the focus is coming back on scalability. How do you scale? Because the fluctuations in demand and your fluctuations in your ability to service is demanding your ability to scale capacity up or down at will. And therefore, what are we seeing as a result? Right? And we've seen this come across in some of the experience we've had as an organization. So what we did when the COVID hit, and there are always sort of a three-stage thing. In the early stage of any such crisis, one is always in denial, hoping it's a 1-week lockdown and things will go away and we will be back to normal. So it's like a temporary disruption. But I think it became obvious fairly quickly that it was not like a short-term thing. It was going to be here for a while. And everyone, including us, I think before you get into your vertical or anything else, you have an organization to run. So, people's health, safety, well-being, continuity to work from home, all of those issues were, top of mind with people. Then people have gone to a place where everyone, understood that this was here to stay for a while. So how do you brace yourself and stay productive during that period? And now we are getting to a place where I think we have all realized that it is not going to be anything called post-COVID. It's likely to be, a very different situation and continue for a long time. So it's not going to be, a complete, revert to anything that we had. It'll probably be amalgamation. So it's sort of what you might call the next normal. And we've seen interesting cases, and, Kapil mentioned government. We've done extensive work because when the situation happened, we opened all our solution and all our expertise and people's help for society, government, public institutions without any cost said, how can we help? And we've seen very interesting scenarios. Sometimes the task was simple, but the scale and quantum was huge. Sometimes the task was, because people were not available, that task had to be done. Or sometimes task was which was never done before. So I give you sort of simple examples, and they have changed. They were in the run-up to the situation. When we were just about getting into the thing, there were topics relating to collection and of the tracking data of quarantined people, and that had to be collected at different district level, Jilla levels, rolling up to the state level, rolling up to the national level without any people in offices. And we've deployed solutions for those. Then we had situation where people wanted to tackle information coming from various sources, including social media, and people wanted to make sense of it. You have seen the authenticity of information is a huge challenge, where technology has helped people figure out the information, scrub it, and put it to different channels for their own consumption within different organizations. Then we got into a situation where the complexity of healthcare facilities came up, and technology, we helped deploy technology for people to manage health supplies, medicine stocks in different hospitals across states, or track their ventilators, or track their ICU beds, and so on and so forth. And they were very vast variety, and that's the beauty of India. There were the situations where it's being tracked on Excel, and situation where people have a homemade solution, or people have deployed complex I would say branded solutions, right? So there were different situations where the technology, we worked with them. And then as the economic restoration started, we worked on helping with the curfew passes, e-passes, managing that whole bit. And Kapil alluded to it, but some of this is in a public area, some is not, so I'm not allowed to quote the names, but the last one, sure I can. So City of Mumbai with EY, and which is where we implemented the whole curfew pass thing to tackle these issues. So what does this show us? What showed us was, and many of these things may not necessarily be complex, but I think the parameters on which you try to do changed. Presumably these could be done by the existing technology, or what I call legacy technology. But the new age technologies like automation could do them in flat 48 to 72 hours, where other technology will take weeks and days. In a normal scenario, you will do that. Today, you don't have time. Right? That's one. Second is, these could be done mostly remotely or mobile, because it was lockdown. You couldn't send out teams anywhere. So we could do with maybe a resource from a partner organization and our team working centrally. And these were up and running in such a short period. That was sort of came out as a big benefit. The third thing that came out was what I mentioned, the need for being non-invasive and somewhat non-dependent on existing technology set. So you could do the same thing on an Excel backup as well as on a sort of application backup. Fourth thing came up was ability to customize quickly and provide accuracy. When you're dealing with data like this, you can't afford any kind of errors. And then last one, which I mentioned earlier also, flexible capacity scaling. So all of these areas, we've seen this do really well, and that is actually driving, as things are maturing, many new conversations to take this thing forward. And so our observation, or even my observation, is that this situation is going to accelerate adoption of newer technologies. It is going to move new technologies from being experimental on the curve to being critical and essential. These are going to move them from being a technology topic to a business topic with the C-suite and the business owners. Because all of these are becoming now a topic for ensuring business continuity and planning for future. And what is also very interesting, and like I said, the focus is changing more from some of the earlier innovation areas to growing revenue, managing costs, and building resilience. Right? And what is very interesting is that we are seeing very high level of interest from some very traditional businesses, as well as SMB in the country, which probably would not think of technologies like automation in the earlier era. And some of the companies who have deployed it, we had a very I would say gratifying feedback from some of them. So, for example, Shankar Netralia, who deploys automation solution, provided us a very nice feedback saying we were able to pay salaries for employees, in this time, and it was very, very important. We had Gemini Oil, who actually makes, edible oil, and they could process their contracts and sales orders without people being there. We had Sri Malani Foam, which is a company that makes mattresses. They could do their cash management and customer documentation. Several others. We had Bajaj Alliance, we have Federal Bank, who had automated their processes, and it very, very useful during this situation. We have Sterlite Technologies, who could run their invoicing and payment. So, to sum it, I think it is a perfect storm for people to look at new technologies in the area of RPA, AI, machine learning, many of these, and accelerate their deployment to stay successful during this period, as well as build resilience for any such disruptions in the future.